Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news in the world of NFL rumors and trade buzz. There's a lot of chatter swirling around the possibility of the Green Bay Packers making a bold move to strengthen their defense, particularly their linebacker core. And if the latest whispers are true, it could be one of the most impactful trades in recent Packers history. The name that's been popping up more and more in conversations with insiders is Roquan Smith from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, before you start thinking it's just idle speculation, let's break down what this could mean for the Packers, the NFC North, and the league as a whole. Roquan Smith, at just 28 years old, has established himself as one of the premier linebackers in the NFL. He's a player that Packers fans are familiar with, especially since his reputation as a sideline-to-sideline playmaker is well-earned. Over his career so far, Smith has racked up an impressive 245 tackles, which speaks to his consistency and nose for the ball. He's also snagged 12 interceptions, showing his ability to make plays in coverage, and sports a lifetime PFF coverage grade of 86.5. That's elite, especially for a linebacker. His tackling average of 8.2 per game further demonstrates his reliability against both the run and the pass. The rumors suggest the Ravens, currently sitting at a 9-4 record, but with a significant cap space of around $55 million, are prioritizing their cap flexibility and roster rebuilds. They're focused on bolstering their defensive line with young talent after their defense has been leaking around 20 points per game this season. The Ravens are believed to be exploring options to sell some veteran leadership, and Roquan Smith is at the top of that list. The proposed trade reportedly would involve the Packers sending a second-round pick and a third-round pick to Baltimore in exchange for Smith. If this deal goes through, it would be a major coup for the Packers, who are in desperate need of a true game-changing linebacker to help elevate their defense. Now, let's talk about how this move could change the Packers' fortunes moving forward. Smith's addition would immediately boost their linebacker group, adding a level of speed, coverage ability, and tackling prowess that's been missing at times this season. Right now, Green Bay's linebacker core has been solid but not quite elite. Adding Smith would give them a dynamic duo alongside Devondre Campbell, creating a formidable middle of the field that can shut down both the run and the short to intermediate passes. This is especially critical considering the Packers. Opponents often exploit middle-of-the-field weaknesses, especially in the NFC North, where teams like the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings have potent passing attacks and mobile quarterbacks. By bringing in a player like Smith, the Packers could see their defense become a lot more disruptive. The stats are telling. Imagine reducing the average yards allowed on middle passes from around 200 yards per game down to closer to 160. That's a significant improvement that can swing games. Plus, with Smith's ability to cover tight ends and running backs, Green Bay's defense would become much more versatile and less predictable. His presence on the field could elevate the entire unit, forcing offenses to rethink their game plans. And speaking of impact, it's worth noting that Smith's recent performance has been outstanding. In Week 13, he earned a PFF game grade of 94.2, which is off the charts. That kind of consistency and high-level play could translate into a projected plus 19% increase in win probability against aerial attacks moving forward. For Packers fans dreaming of a deep playoff run, that kind of upgrade in the middle of the defense is exactly what they've been hoping for. Now, let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. If the Packers do manage to acquire Roquan Smith, it could be a turning point not just for this season, but for the future. A linebacker of Smith's caliber can be the cornerstone of a defense that's aiming to contend for a Super Bowl. His ability to make plays in clutch moments, especially in the playoffs, makes him an X-factor. Considering the Packers' current roster and their cap situation, adding someone like Smith could be the piece that elevates them from a good team to a genuine championship contender. Imagine the Packers' defense with Smith and Devondre Campbell operating as a dynamic duo, controlling the middle of the field and making life difficult for quarterbacks. That kind of middle field dominance is exactly what the Packers need to take the next step. It's reminiscent of the Ravens' defense during their Super Bowl winning years with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, where leadership and elite talent came together to form a nearly impenetrable wall. Smith could be the new face of that kind of leadership, especially with a cap space of around $58 million to work with, giving the Packers some flexibility to tweak other positions like wide receiver or offensive line in the offseason. From a strategic standpoint, this move also makes sense for the Ravens. They're focusing on building up their pass rush with their total of 35 sacks this season, but they are also looking to sell some veteran assets to free up cap space and draft picks. Selling Smith for a couple of mid-round picks allows them to focus on boosting their edge rushers and young defensive line prospects. Plus, it's a chance to reset their roster for a future championship push, especially if they want to keep Lamar Jackson healthy and surrounded by the right pieces. For the Packers, acquiring Smith isn't just about adding a star linebacker. It's about signaling their intent to compete right now. With their current roster, they're in the playoff hunt, and every game counts. The addition of Smith would send a message to the division and the league that Green Bay is all in. It also aligns with their broader strategy of building a defense that can match their high-powered offense led by Jordan Love and a talented group of wide receivers. The Packers have shown flashes of offensive brilliance, but consistency on defense has been the missing piece. Smith could be the player to change that. And looking ahead, if the Packers manage to pull this off, it could alter the odds for a Super Bowl run significantly. Right now, they're listed at around plus 800 in some betting markets, but with Smith in the fold, those odds could tighten to around plus 450. That's a huge difference, and it reflects how much impact an elite linebacker can have on a team's championship chances. Playoff football is all about matchups and making key plays when it counts, and Smith's knack for forcing turnovers. He sports a 6.5% interception rate per target in the playoffs, could be the difference maker in close games. It's also worth mentioning that Smith's presence would help establish a more physical, aggressive identity for the Packers' defense. His ability to rush the passer, he's recorded multiple hurries and tackles for loss, alongside his coverage skills makes him a true all-around linebacker. The Packers have been striving to become more aggressive on defense, and adding a player like Smith would be a big step toward that goal. His reputation as a leader on the field could also inspire the younger players and help develop the team's defensive culture heading into the postseason. Of course, all of this hinges on the trade actually happening, and negotiations are still in the early stages. But if the insiders are right, and the Packers do land Roquan Smith, it's going to be one of the most exciting developments of the season. Fans would be thrilled to see their team making bold moves, especially when it comes to shoring up a defense that's been a bit inconsistent but full of potential. It's the kind of move that could push Green Bay over the top, giving them that extra edge needed to contend for a Super Bowl, something every Packers fan dreams about. As we watch these developments unfold, it's clear that the Packers are positioning themselves for a serious playoff push. The addition of Roquan Smith could be the catalyst that transforms their defense into one of the league's best. With his elite playmaking ability and leadership, Green Bay's defense could become a nightmare for opponents, especially in the playoffs when every possession counts. The NFC North is no longer just a battle between the Packers, Vikings, and Lions. It's about who can build the most complete team, and right now, a trade for Smith might just be the move that puts them over the top. So stay tuned, Packers fans. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and the possibility of adding Roquan Smith is just adding fuel to the fire. The NFC North could see a real shakeup, and Green Bay might be at the forefront of that change. Whether this trade happens or not, one thing is for sure. The Packers are not content to sit back and watch. They're making moves, and they're doing everything they can to secure another shot at the Lombardi Trophy. It's an exciting time to be a Packers fan, and we'll be here every step of the way, breaking down the latest news, rumors, and game insights to keep you informed and fired up for what's next. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.